So these are a couple of things that you can begin to do for osteoarthritis. And labral tears, this is great for labral tears as well. So we're gonna grab a block and we're gonna start with a little hip swing. So if you step up onto a block, I want you to hold on to something because we are gonna let our leg go. We're just gonna let it go, let it go. Big swing. You're not placing the leg. You're not trying to make it look pretty or neat and nice and tucked in. It's just let it go. And what this does is it decompresses the hip joint. So if you've got some of this grinding, like the hip joint is kind of grinding, the head of the femur grinding in the hip joint, it's going to help decompress that area, decompress the cartilage area. And you want to do this nice and relaxed with your breath, slow and smooth. Let's step down, and what you might feel here is like a little bit of heaviness in the hip. Feels kind of nice, right? Okay, let's try our second side. It's kind of a soothing feeling in a way, even though the leg is heavy. It's like a soothing feeling. So the other thing this does, it also gets the joint fluid moving in the joint. And what you heavily rely on, especially in arthritis, is that joint fluid soothes the joint. Long, smooth breath. And then by moving the joint fluid, it'll ask your body to produce more joint fluid. Send more joint fluid to the hip, is what it asks for. All right, let's step down here. And I've seen this in, so far, over the last 14 years, 100% of the people who have had osteoarthritis, including myself. And it took me a while to really figure out how to make this muscle functional. Now what I want you to do is we're gonna lie down here in a minute, and you can kind of watch first on what we're gonna do, but it's very subtle. So I want you to really pay attention. And I want you to start with your most organized side first. That probably means like if you have the injured hip on the left, you start on the right, or vice versa. All right, now I'm gonna start on the right since my hip injury was on the left. I'm gonna lie down. I'm gonna place the block under my knee. So here's the, if this were a game, I would tell you there's one rule in that your heel cannot touch the floor. So you gotta have your heel up. Now, if you have your heel up and you put your knee on the block, but your toes are still stuck to the floor, this is what this position would look like. So go ahead and find this position on your most organized side. And what we're going to begin to do is we're going to press down with the knee. The knee presses into the block. And I want you to feel this muscle on the outside of the hip, right about here. If you kind of have put your hand right along, if your index finger is right along the seam of your pants. If you have a seam on your pants, that helps. And that muscle is the one that you want to feel turn on when you press down into the block. Now this exercise is not about strength. Well, it is, but it's more about being subtle. So I'm gonna explain what I mean. When you push down into the block and you feel your whole butt clench, I don't want you to feel that whole thing working. What I want you to feel is just the outside muscle. So that probably means that you're going to use about 20 to 25% of effort than what you did the first time. So press down just a little bit and see if you can only feel that muscle turn on, and then relax it. Only feel this muscle turn on, and then relax. Now pay attention to the inside of your thigh. Is that trying to work too hard? If it is, you can actually kind of move your foot down and the block down too under your knee, and see if you can get more only this outside, glute medius, on and off. Now this is how we wake it up, because If we're squeezing tight, you're gonna reinforce the takeover pattern that's already happening in your hips, and that's part of the reason why there's imbalance and why there's pain. So we want to get that muscle isolated, and that's why we got to go subtle on this. And from the subtlety, from being able to just turn on this muscle, you're gonna get super strong. Let's try it on the second side. All right, so if this is your injured side, or this is your side that's a little less organized, maybe you don't actually have a tear or arthritis, but you know you want to gain this skill, right? And probably most of us can use this skill, to be quite honest, even athletes, because we don't usually isolate this muscle. But it's super, super empowering. So you're pushing down, what you just kind of feel, can you just feel that muscle turn on and off? And you know, the answer might be no, and it's a totally valid, legit answer. And I just want you to keep working on it. And keep in mind that the biggest disparity, the biggest jump is from 0 to 1. 1 to 2, a lot easier. 2 to 3, way easier. But this, we're going from 0 to 1. Keep in mind, just stay the course. You want to push, you want to relax. You want to see if you can feel it. And we started on our more organized side because, you know, you take that information into your brain and then you translate it over here to this side. It will happen if you keep working on it. Even if you're like, I'm not sure, that's totally a great place to be. I'm not sure means it's waking up. It might take some time. All right, this is our last push, and then we're gonna go back to this original side one more time. So now we're gonna really take in that information, what it feels like. Press, just feel this muscle turn on and off. Press, and relax, press, and relax. One more. All right, now we've got that information downloaded into the brain. And here we go on our second side. I guess it was uploading it into the brain, downloading it into the body over here on this other side. So see if you notice a difference on the second try, on the second round of squeezes. And it doesn't have to be big, you guys. It can be really subtle. And from the subtlety creates exquisite skill. And I learned this the hard way, because I did want to go like 100, 200%. Knee into the block, squeeze, relax, and one more time. And then gently come out. All right, we'll roll to the side and push up to seated. Stay tuned. We're gonna have some more videos like this coming out for you. Let us know how that's going in the comments. And you know, you can always find us at MoveWellWithUs.com. See you soon.